Hey gang, it's Paul Ramsey and I'm joined by Robert Harrison, who is presenting a 1-hour seminar at the 2017 NGH convention. The title is Reading People for Better Results, Advanced Strategies to Access Your Client's Personality Profile for Better Results and Deeper Rapport. How are you, Robert?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Hey, how'd you get into hypnotism?
You know, I'm one of those guys that begrudgingly became a hypnotist. I actually was really into neurolinguistic programming back in the late 90s, and I started working with an institute called the NLP Institute of California, which is run by Tim Halbum and Chris Halbum, and they're good friends with Robert Dilts and Steve Andreas and some other people. And during my course of learning neurolinguistic programming, obviously one of the big influences was Milton Erickson. And so after graduating with all my certificates, I went out and shopped myself around the Bay Area, Silicon Valley as a corporate coach. And I would go into places like Oracle and NEC and Electronic Arts and Corporate Gap, and I would speak on how to get, better results in less time, how to learn things more easily. And during the course of talking about NLP, I would inevitably mention hypnosis. And sure enough, at the end of every talk, people would kind of come up at the back of the room and whisper in my ear. They're like, hey, you mentioned hypnosis. Can you help me quit smoking? Can you help me lose weight? Can you help me reduce stress? And, one of the tenets of NLP is meet people in their model of the world. So I eventually said, you know what, this is what the market wants. I will fully embrace hypnosis and do that. And of course, I was trained in hypnosis by Stephen Gilligan and Michael Watson originally. And then, of course, I took my learning on from there with several other teachers and mentors over the years. So, but that's how I got into it. I never planned on being a hypnotist, had no intention of doing it. But I love helping people. I love people puzzles. And if you love people puzzles, then learning NLP and learning hypnosis are just two natural fits for that.
Sure. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So all the things you've done and all the things you've learned about over the years, why this topic? Why'd you choose to present on this topic?
Here's why. I first got introduced to the idea of really reading personalities by Scott McFall, who I worked with for a number of years. And the thing is that if you think about, so anyone listening to this broadcast right now, you likely have a significant other in your life, or you have a best friend, or you have a sibling, or you have parents, okay? And so if you think about it, there are things that stress you out that don't seem to stress them out for some reason. And there's things that naturally will stress them out that don't seem to stress you out for some reason. So think of your personality like a unique river with its own unique twists and turns. Neither one is any better or worse than the other, but they're a little bit different. And so in the field of behavioral change, when we are working to get a person from A to B, I'm a big believer, don't swim upstream. Let's work with how they're already wired. And so out of this and out of being introduced to these different personality types by Scott, I really started modeling that, and I made that my entire focus for the next 4 or 5 years. And we extracted key attractors and key stressors for different personality types. And what this does is it allows me as the clinician to preemptively predict on site what will likely work extremely well with the client, what is always going to motivate and entice them and inspire them and get them to take fervent action, and what is likely to cause stress and pressure, sabotage, derailing, and going sideways. And now I teach my students that I mentor how to do this on site, and then we validate it through conversation. When we do this, it has a number of profound effects on the client. For one, when we do that during an evaluation, it creates this sense of, oh my God, this person knows me in a way that no one has ever known me before on a very intimate level. And they see things that even I don't see about myself. And that creates a tremendous amount of trust in the hypnotist and in the coach. The other thing is it gives us a tremendous amount of knowledge about what's likely to work and likely not to work. So we're not burning time, wasting energy, spinning our wheels, doing things that are ineffective with clients, trying to motivate them in ways that may feel natural to us or may seem to be obvious, but absolutely do not work. So it really helps you fine tune what works and what doesn't work. And not only do I do this in the hypnosis clinic, I do this in corporate consulting. So we've been able to take a bank, for example, a chain of banks who wanted to increase commercial real estate, just to give you a quick example. And they wanted to increase their ability to secure commercial real estate clients. Well, their executive team, right, was a mismatch in terms of their personality profile with their ideal customer. So I went in and did what's called a psychographic profile using this technology. I was able to identify, here's where you guys exactly line up. Don't do any training, don't do any work, do what comes natural. In this following area, you'll be fine. But in this area, you need to do completely the exact opposite of what you intuitively want to do, and stop doing these 4 things and start doing these 4 things instead. When they did that, they had a 300% increase. So January of the year previous, they did $2 million in real estate loans. That next January, after just a little bit of coaching on this, they did over $7 million in commercial real estate loans. And so that's a 300% increase. We see increases like that consistently because this stuff is what will make or break a hypnosis program, a coaching program, any kind of behavioral change program where you have to guide a human being from A to B. That's why it's that critically important.
Well, there you go, folks. Right? I mean, seriously, no, I'm seriously. Robert just laid it out beautifully, very articulately. This is the stuff you come to the convention for. You come to acquire these new understandings and these new things that you can apply to get you more work, to get you better results, right? And this is what you do. So you have a 1-hour seminar on Friday at 1 p.m., the first day of the convention. And you can hang out with Robert and you can learn this stuff, and then you can go back and you can implement, and you don't got to go for some extra certification or any of that stuff, right? You come in, you learn it, you go back and implement, and you make your practice better and you get better results with your clients. And that's what we're all about. Robert, if people want to learn more about you, what's a good way for them to do that?
Best way to go is to thehypnotistacademy.com. That is my mentoring and coaching website, thehypnotistacademy.com. You'll notice when you go there, there's only one thing you can do. That is there for a reason. And that is a very well thought out reason. I'll just say that. So but if that leaves you feeling frustrated, you can also call me at 408-410-8640. You can also text me. And what I generally do the last day of the convention, Sunday, all day long, I do one-on-one interviews for people that are prospective students. Perhaps they want marketing help. We do have a talk also on marketing. We have a talk also on how to get corporate speaking gigs, all using this technology. So I will be there all day Sunday doing interviews, 1-hour private interviews with prospective students if you're interested. And that's the way to get a hold of me.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for making this time for me, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to do these interviews for the Guild.
All right. Be well.